Hello again, thanks so much for being with us today for Spotlight Carolina. I'm Mark Cady, and the Mountain Area Health Education Center has a summit coming up the first week of November that is going to help many children right here in our area. Today from MAHEC, joining us, it is Ariel Schumacher-Hammond and Frank Castelblanco. Guys, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having us.
We're talking about something called adverse childhood experiences. There's a big summit coming up that's going to deal with this. We're going to talk about that in a second, but first, ACE. Talk about what ACEs are.
So ACEs stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences, which is essentially trauma that kids experience when they're growing up. It can look like a lot of different things, but it could be exposure to poverty or racism, violence in the home, even an adult using substances in the home. And unfortunately, it can mean that they will develop adverse health outcomes as adults. So we see a higher likelihood of things like diabetes or obesity or even their own substance abuse.
These childhood trauma experiences that we've learned, I mean, they affect people their whole entire lives. And we always see like one or two kids maybe in class or at a school that we may think may be affected by this, but are they very common?
Yeah, unfortunately super common. About 50 to 70% of adults have at least one ACE.
Wow, that is a large number. So it affects a lot of people. Talk about why it's important to address the ACEs and address these issues.
Right, so actually fantastic news is that kids are pretty resilient, and so when we have access to good community-based programs and healthy supports, they do a lot better and are less likely to develop these health outcomes. So we have an ACEs collaborative here in Buncombe County. It works really hard to make sure that we have all our kids having access to that.
And a 3-day symposium is coming up the first week of November. Frank, talk to us a little bit about this. There's some big speakers coming. There's a lot people can learn. Tell us more.
Absolutely. So we have nationally renowned speakers. The first is Dr. Chandra Ghosh-Ipin, and she's from the University of California, San Francisco, and she's a child trauma specialist. And her specialty is how to focus on storytelling as a way of teaching resilience in a child-parent model. And then we also have Dr. Christina Bethel, and she's from Johns Hopkins University. And she focuses on policy, but also how to engage community, so it's both a top-down and a bottom-up approach to improving outcomes.
Talk about who can benefit from attending the symposium.
So healthcare providers, law enforcement, educators, community organizations, social workers. This is something that encompasses so many different facets of our society.
It is very important, especially if people who deal with children, who see these kind of things, they're going to be able to learn a lot from this and help a lot of children in our area. Real quick, the information these people can attend the symposium. They have schedules on your website, things like that?
Absolutely, and the website is being shown right now at the end here.
Yep. And so we see it right there, mahec.net/ACES2019. You can also call 828-257-4475. It's happening November 1st at MAHEC in Asheville, November 2nd and 3rd at the Sherrill Center at the campus of UNC Asheville. The Adverse Childhood Experiences Southeastern Summit is coming the first week of November. Guys, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having
all
us.
you're doing for children in our community. Thank you so much for joining us today on Spotlight Carolina.